Just 2 years ago, his hives were thriving. He was planning on an expansion of his family business. Now, they're not sure if they'll have a honey harvest at all this year. It's just one example of a worldwide bee crisis that is devastating farmers and the environment. Dave Schuit joins us here in studio along with researcher Clement Kent. He is a honeybee expert from York University. Dave, I want to start with you. What is happening to your bees?
Well, last year we only lost 7% of our hives to the winter loss, and then when they started planting corn, my bees were just dying in the millions. When they came out of their hives, they just came a blanket. They became paralyzed. The legs couldn't move out while the wings couldn't move. The tongue sticking out, the venom dripping from their backside. Terrible agony. Terrible to see that my bees dying.
Clement, put it into perspective. What is going on here? You know, Dave mentioned the idea of the corn, and one of the things people are saying is it has to do with a chemical used in the corn syrup. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the biggest change in the last 20 years has been pesticides based on nicotine. And these pesticides are put onto the corn seed, and it's there when they're sowed, and it gets into the pollen, and it gets into the bees that way because the bees will actually collect it through the pollen.
Dave, put this into perspective. When we say 37 million bees, what does that do to you, your family, your livelihood?
Nearly half my operation is gone. It affects us emotionally and physically and financially. We've ended up, we had to sell our farm. We live at the honey house now because we sold our farm because basically you go into the bank and say, I'd like to make my payments, but I have no bees left. The bees are gone. The PMRA is out there, MOE, OMAFRA. They come out and take samples. We've had boxes of samples. Throughout all the samples throughout Ontario, they've done 70% of them had the neonicotinoids on the bees. It's what we're looking for. We'd like to see leadership from the government to take a stand to ban this chemical that me as a beekeeper, I love to be as a beekeeper. Why can't I be a beekeeper? Why can't beekeepers throughout Ontario, worldwide, we want to see this chemical banned, because how can I tell my kids that we can't sustain this? We can't go on like this because the bees are dying faster than the queen can lay. Our queen, I can't even used to keep a queen several years. I can't even keep a queen alive 1 year.
Clement, tell us a little bit about what the chemical actually does, what people think it's doing to the bees.
Well, nicotine is found naturally in tobacco plants because it's their protection against bugs. It's actually a nerve poison that acts more strongly on insects and other bugs than it does on people, which is why we can smoke a cigarette and not drop dead. Some clever chemical companies modified nicotine to last longer and stay in the plant, and they got these so-called neonicotinoid pesticides, and they've been some of the biggest sellers in the pesticide market in the last 10 years. So they're used on all kinds of crops now.
Dave was talking about this being a worldwide thing, and you know, we see that the government in the UK is launching an urgent review of this. It's affecting them, other parts of Europe, China, Japan, Africa, places around the world. This story has been around for a couple of years now about something going on with the bee population. What needs to be done, do you think, Clement?
I think I go with Dave. The government needs to ban it. The EU has banned it temporarily, but for 2 years. State of Oregon recently lost 60,000 bumblebees in a Target parking lot because somebody sprayed these same compounds, and they've come out and banned that one pesticide for a short period. We need to get rid of them. They're knocking down songbirds and fish too.
What's the resistance here to this ban? I mean, what are you hearing?
Basically, we went to the standing committee in Ottawa last year, 3 beekeepers, and the end result is they said, prove it, we'll ban it. I felt it was like I'm in the ocean, I say SOS, and they say, let me know when the ship is at the bottom of the ocean, we'll come and pick you up. So
you would think 37 million bees would be proof enough.
Pictures don't lie, videos don't lie, the evidence there, the science is behind us. What else am I supposed to prove to the government, say, ban this? Like, why do I have to stop being a beekeeper? I love my bees.
I want to thank both of you for coming in today and sharing your story, and hopefully this might help push this story along a little bit.
The bees do 80% of the world's pollination. Honey is a byproduct, yeah? If we haven't got the bees no more, who's going to pollinate the apple trees? Who's going to pollinate the strawberries? Who's going to pollinate the blueberries? Who are you going to hire to start pollinate flower after flower? When one bee pollinates 100,000 flowers a day.
This is what really brings it home and why it is so important. Thanks so much, Clement and Dave, for your time.
Thank you for showing your interest in our livelihood.
Absolutely.